Check, check, check. Thank you all very much for joining us on this very special morning. Obviously, in the city of El Paso, it's always good times with the weather. Today, we'd like to thank you again for letting us be a part of this very special ceremony. As we dedicate the Escobar Fields, and again, we'd like to thank Paso Water Utilities Public Service Board, and also, of course, Representative Eddie Holguin for his support as well. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll please stand. And we go ahead and have the presentation of the colors by the Del Valle High School Junior ROTC. Sergeant Melissa Brown Dinkins is their supervisor. And from Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church, ladies and gentlemen, with our invocation, Father Miguel Briceño.
God of all creation, we thank you and praise you for this great day. This day in which you have given us to dedicate these two parks, in which our young people will come and gather to celebrate the great sport of soccer. That through that sport they may also come to discover the gift and the need for respect for one another, and truly play well, and you dedicate themselves to giving you the glory to whatever they do. And we ask all of this in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Father. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, it's all about children and what this field will represent. At this time, we have a brand new, beautiful elementary school behind us. And we'd like to bring up those children now, as they will go ahead and do our Pledge of Allegiance. They will do the Texas Pledge, and then we will also have a moment of silence. If I could please have the students again, and their instructors at the school, Stacy Vasquez, Stephanie Lerman, thank you very much from the Isleta Independent School District. I pledge allegiance.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
This time we have a moment of silence, please. Thank you all very much. Thank you, children of Del Valle Elementary School, and thank you for the color guard as well. If you please remain standing until the color guard has rested their colors.
Order, arm. Right, face. Forward, march.
Thank you. We'd like to also thank General Services Department for their support, and their, of course, Director Stuart Eade, along with Mr. Steve Lunsford. Always great people at what they do and how they do it to help and support these many events that happen throughout the city of El Paso. Again, we'd like to thank you all on behalf of City Council Representative Eddie Holguin Jr. Thank you for joining us. You know, they say that two things that everybody has different. One is fingerprints, the other is a voice. And all of you here today are a voice for our children, a voice for where you work. And of course, Eddie Holguin has been a voice for his constituents for many years here in the Mission Valley area. And we can't thank him enough for always having those visions to be able to do dedications like this to support our business community and also, of course, our private sector, but more importantly, individuals like El Paso Water Utilities. And speaking of El Paso Water Utilities, we'd like to bring up their Vice President, Ms. Christina Montoya.
Thank you for that warm welcome, Wayne. I want to recognize some other of our people here from El Paso Water Utilities that really did a lot more work on this project than myself did. And first of all, Kiko Martinez, if you could please stand. He was the project manager for El Paso Water Utilities on this project. And Lupe Cuellar, our real estate manager and counsel, who has also been assisting. And of course, I'm sure you all know our former president and CEO, Mr. Ed Archuleta, who also did work on the negotiations for this project. Mr. Archuleta. So with that, I'm proud to represent El Paso Water Utilities on this great day. I am amazed. I don't know how you all feel, but looking at this and knowing that it was just a few months ago, I saw many of you here. This was dirt, you know, in just a few months, we made this amazing transformation into these brand new, 2 new soccer fields. And I am so excited to get to see kids from this community being able to play on. It really is quite an accomplishment. And we couldn't have done it without the cooperation. I think this event today just speaks so highly to the importance of cooperating and working together. And by that primarily I mean El Paso Water Utilities and the city of El Paso. Our people worked with Parks and Recreation. We worked diligently, and our leaders gave our people the time so they could commit to getting this project done on time. And it really is amazing. You don't see in construction a lot where things happen so quickly and so expediently. So I really want to take my hat off and thank Representative Holguin for that opportunity, and to everyone involved in this project for getting it done on time. We're proud to be here today, and just so you all know, probably some of you are wondering, why is El Paso Water Utilities in the business of building soccer fields? And that's not something we usually do, but in this situation, we saw an opportunity. We knew Representative Holguin wanted to put more fields here. We knew that we had fields that were suitable for this purpose, and we also did have desires for other lands in this area. So a land swap was done, and in that land swap, we also included our project design and management experience, so we could get this project.
You can see it's a little clumpy right now, and part of that is just it's needing to get rolled probably again, and then a good 60 days or so of knitting and growing time in order to be able to be played on. So the actual usage of these fields won't be available until October time period, but that's the necessary time that we need to make sure the fields are in tip-top condition for the children to play on. Now, we're not done here, by the way, and again with Representative Holguin's involvement and working with PSB and Water Utilities, there's going to be 2 fields that we have over Blackie Cheshire next door here that are going to be expanded and to full-size fields with lighting and fencing, so that we'll be able to improve those fields as well. So that's an important thing to keep, and remember that's going to be happening over the next several months. Also, the construction of these 2 fields is part of a larger effort that we have within the city of El Paso. We have a park and recreation master plan that says, in general, that we need to have 1 game field for every 10,000 residents. So these 2 fields here represent 20,000 residents in terms of its usage. And as we continue to grow as a city, and the usage continues to grow, we're going to need more fields. So this is an awesome opportunity to add to our system again, and help meet our goals of meeting the standards of the city. So that concludes my remarks. I want to thank everyone for coming today, and I hope you have a really great day, and hopefully you have children or those that you know who have children that will be using this field in the future, and you'll be able to come out and enjoy a sunny day. Thank you.
Thank you again, Tracy Novak, Interim Director for City of El Paso Parks and Recreation Department. And ladies and gentlemen, you know, we're all in a team in many ways in what we do in life and also what we do in our personal lives. But even more so, as we stand here today before you, we have a great team in front of you that's helping and supporting this great project that we have. And you talk about the person on my far right, like Kiko Martinez, Project Manager with the El Paso Water Utilities. Talk about Lupe Cuellar from the City Attorney's Office. Of course, we've met her before, the Vice President for El Paso Water Utilities, Ms. Cristina Montoya. Our esteemed Director of Parks and Recreation, Mr. Tracy Novak. And of course, Father Brusinho, who gave a great invocation. And then a gentleman that needs no introduction, but to me, he's done so much in our community and what he's been able to do over many years. And of course, when you retire, sometimes people think you just sort of go your own separate way. But he still gives back to the community in many ways, and now with the Board of Managers with the El Paso Independent School District, former Director as well of the El Paso Water Utilities, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ed Archuleta. And it comes back to the person that really puts this all together. You know, he's a guy who's been in city office for many years, as I said before, but you know, ladies and gentlemen, it's very easy to do sometimes what you do. But sometimes you have to look around and have a vision. You have to have a dream, and you always have to believe in our children. And you children here today, a lot of times you turn on the TV, you turn on the movies, and you say, that's what I want to be like. That's my role model. That's who I want to be. Well, this man that's coming in front of you right now, this man is also who you want to be like as well. Ladies and gentlemen, our City Council Representative for District 6, Mr. Eddie Holguin, Jr.
Thank you, Wayne, for your kind words. I really appreciate them. Thank you. I want to thank you all this morning for coming out. Despite when you left home this morning, it was sprinkling and a little bit of rain, and I really appreciate you all coming out this morning. But I do want to thank the city staff, the Parks Department, and you know the guys in the back. When I got here this morning, it was raining, and they were here, and they were all drenched, and they were wet, and they were putting up the tents and getting everything set up. You know, for a second there, I thought maybe we should cancel if it's going to continue to rain. But one of them told me, "Oh, don't worry, Mr. Holguin, we're already all wet." So I really appreciate you guys coming out here and standing in the rain and really and putting things together this morning. I really can't add a lot to what Ms. Montoya and Mr. Novak have already said about the project. You know, it's a wonderful project. We've invested a lot of money. The PSB did, and it really shows in the finished product. So, you know, that being said, I do want to thank a few people that really had a lot to do with it. I want to thank the Filibertis, Mr. and Ms. Filiberti, for always being a big proponent for soccer and fields and open space in the city. I've told you all this before, and I'll tell you again. When I first took office, they came to my office and they stressed the importance of soccer. And for me, for someone who is not involved in any type of sport and doesn't know the rules of any of the sports, other than the eating competitions, I really appreciate them really making me aware of the needs of the citizens of El Paso, specifically in the soccer community. So I do want to thank you all for all of the work that you do citywide for the soccer leagues. So thank you so much. When this first started, many years ago, it started with the Isleta ISD. They came to my office and they said they wanted to build a school across the street, and I said, no, we can't build a school out there. because it's going to be built on top of two soccer fields, and I can't let you take two soccer fields because then I'll have Felibertis in my office. But they came up with a really good solution. They said, well, what if we were to replace the soccer fields across the street? I said, sure, that sounds great. And that's what happened. And thanks to the school district, we were able to accomplish two things. We were able to accomplish the school across the street and the two soccer fields directly in front. A few years pass, and we're always trying to build new fields. I asked the PSB if they were willing to build two new soccer fields across the street because we had been wrangling over some land at the corner of I-10 and Zaragoza. And then CEO Ed Archuleta came to my office, and if you all read the papers over the years, me and Ed have had some really great arguments. And he's a fierce competitor and a great debater. And I can tell you that when it came to the soccer fields, of course I walked into my office with a very mean face, ready to argue with him, and Ed sat there and he listened to me, and when I was done speaking, he's like, sure. I didn't know what to do after that because he just said sure. And that wasn't the Ed Archuleta that I was used to. But it was really great that Mr. Archuleta understood the need for the soccer fields, and being that the water utility company has always been a great partner with the city, I was really glad that the water utility company didn't fight it and actually added more stuff than I had requested. So, Mr. Archuleta, I'm really glad and thankful for your cooperation in this project, and obviously we all know that this would have never happened without your cooperation, so I'm really grateful for that and thankful for that. I want to thank the Del Valle ROTC. They've already left. I wanted to apologize to them for making their shiny shoes all dirty this morning. But I do want to thank them for coming out. Coro Cariño, of course, for coming out this morning. They're going to sing as soon as we're done here with the ribbon cutting. So again, I want to thank you all for coming out. Father Miguel Briceño, for always coming out to these events and doing the invocation for us. I'm really glad that you come out. I want to thank Amy and Diana and my staff for putting up with me over the years and for putting things together. I really appreciate all the work that you all do. Wayne Thornton from Parks for always agreeing to help, and since I'm the easiest person to work with, he's always very willing to come and help out. So Wayne, again, thank you so much. At this time, if you'll indulge me for a minute, I do want to thank Lupe Cuellar, who's up here. She used to be a city attorney for the city of El Paso. She left us to go work for the water utility company. Why, I don't know. But she did. But I can tell you that after these fields were built, we ran into a few little snags here. I don't know if they sent Lupe over to my office because she worked for the city and understood my character, but she came into my office and we started talking, and at the end of the day, the PSB is not just building these two fields that we're currently on, but like Mr. Novak said, we're also building two fields across the street. They're going to be enhanced to competition style and lighting, and I want to thank Lupe Cuellar for that, because if it wasn't for you and all of the hours that you put into that and all of the trips to the city, although I do think that you would come to the city to get away from the water utility company, I do want to thank you for that, for all the work that you did. And since we're giving a lot of shout outs to the water utility company, it's only fair for you all to know that they're currently building 2 new fields at Shaver Park, and they'll be building another one at Capistrano. And with the bonds that just passed that you all voted for, we're going to get 2 more fields, either here or in another park. So that's an additional 5 fields within the next year or so that'll be built in District 6 in the Mission Valley. And that is a lot of green space, and I'm really glad that we're moving forward in providing recreational facilities for the kids. With that being said, if I could have Lupe Cuellar come up, I do have a little gift for you. I wanted to present you with a plaque in appreciation for all your hard work and dedication to Blackie Chester. Because if it wasn't for you, we would have not been able to get the additional 2 fields across the street. So I'm really thankful for your hard work.
Thank you. And let me say the discussions that were going on with the city, that was John Ballou, Dan Avila, and also Kiko, where we decided in part of the discussions to go ahead and assist the city in expanding the other 2 fields in Blackie Chester. And again, this just shows how both the city and the Paso Water Utilities can come up with a good project and a good product when we work together. And it was fun working with you. It's always fun working with you. Thank you.
At this moment, if I could put Mr. Archuleta on the spot and ask him to come up and say a few words, because he really did have a lot to do with this project.
Good morning. Thank you, Representative Holguin. I wasn't prepared to say anything, but I will, because when Representative Holguin asked me to come to this, I said, sure, I'll be there. I stepped down from the water utility in January, and John Ballou was promoted to my position. Unfortunately, he could not be here, but the staff is here, and the staff that really worked on this project is here, plus others, as Ms. Cuellar indicated. I just want to say that, first of all, over the years, the El Paso Water Utilities Public Service Board, as you know, has done a lot to conserve water, and asking you as residents to conserve water, including changing the ordinance that requires xeriscaping installation and less grass and less turf. But to do that, we knew that we had to work with the city to try to improve our parks and expand our parks and provide more green space, throughout the city. And we worked for years with Mr. Novak with the Parks and Recreation Department and those kind of endeavors. So it's not just that, that this is a single incident of any kind. When we started bringing reclaimed water, which some of you know as purple pipe water, we saw that as an opportunity to work with the Parks Department and greening up those fields with wastewater, which is reclaimed water rather than potable water. And we have a lot of installations throughout the city. I was involved at one time with Senator Shapley's efforts on soccer fields, and we actually sited the fields working in northwest El Paso on the soccer fields that are right next to Canutillo High School. We also sought the northeast soccer field complex in northeast is also watered with reclaimed water, and the PSB had the land there at both locations to do that. So when the other thing we've done, when the stormwater system was set up by the PSB and we're collecting fees from you, we decided, why don't we take some of the stormwater ponds and make them recreational fields, soccer fields. And those are underway. The first project we worked on was the Saipan project off the interstate, which flooded, as you know, in 2006. So we have a long history. I've seen Representative Holguin over the years, and he does have a lot of tenacity. He doesn't give up on things, and he continues to. I kept seeing him in council meetings ask for soccer fields, whatever. So we had this dispute, as you know, on the land here that he talked about. But when I walked in this office, I said, look, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to work with him to try to see somehow that we can build these soccer fields, that he had envisioned here in this particular area. So what we did, of course, we worked out the land exchange. And then he said, the problem I have, Ed, he said, is the city can't build these for 2 years. And I said, 2 years? I said, we could probably do them in a year. And she said, "Can you do it?" And I said, "Well, we don't normally build soccer fields, but I guess we can put that in the equation, right?" So there was a little bit of delay. I think part of it was the lighting, the type of lighting that would go in. There was a little bit of a delay, but from the time that I think the decision was made and actually started design, these went up pretty fast, right? I mean, they went up pretty much on schedule. And so that's another one. We don't normally get involved in soccer fields, but I think because of the timing, I can tell you that I believe that these fields are important for children. You know, we have to have green spaces like this for children. Children have to have recreation. I'm involved now with the school board. I believe strongly in education. I believe strongly in individuals, children, adults, others having places to go and recreate. So during the time that I was with the PSB, I strongly encouraged everything we could do to improve the quality of life for the city. So like I said, I'm glad we've had our discussions over the years, but this is one that we agreed on. And I'm glad to be here this morning. John Ballou could not be here because he had a conflict, but I know that there is a plan to bring reclaimed water to the whole Blackie Chester Park, and I hope the Public Service Board continues with that because it's a big project here that could be water with reclaimed water rather than potable water. So I hope someday there'll be a ribbon cutting to bring reclaimed water to this park for its watering of the whole entire complex. So thank you very much for inviting me.
I want to thank the kids from Del Valle for coming out this morning. I really appreciate the teachers letting them out. Again, as last time, they asked me to talk as much as I could and as long as I could. I've just run out of stuff to say, so pretty soon you'll have to go back to class. But I do appreciate you guys coming out. Before we cut the ribbon, I do want to remind everyone that we do have tamales and sweet bread from Bowie Bakery in the Mission Valley, not downtown. So make sure that you don't run off. We do have a little bit of entertainment and a little bit of snacks back there. So again, thank you all so much for coming out, and thank you again for everyone who had something to do with this project. I really appreciate it.
So again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for your support, and also I'd like to recognize in the audience Mr. Jim Booher, who does a great job with the Isleta Independent School District. Susan Austin, good to see you as well here. And again, all of you, Cora Carino, you guys should be on American Idol. You rock. And you'll be able to hear those sweet sounds in a little while. So now we'd like to have the ribbon cutting ceremony, and we'd like to go ahead and have all our guests come step forward in front of the ribbon so we can get our souvenir photo and video as well. If everybody would please, on our front here, come step forward, and so we can cut the ribbon.
Some of the kids want to come up?
The children, please, come up. Hold on just a second, sir. Come up, children, and you stand right next to them. Be really cool. Sorry. Come on up, sweetie. There you go. Some of you on this side, and some of you right over here, okay? Great job. We'll count it down for y'all to cut. We just want to get these pictures, please. Okay, everybody count down from 5 on down, okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Señor.
Good job.
Almost set out by him.
Yes, sir. They got me.
It's great.
Let's see if they're American Idol. They said they should be on American Idol. American Idol material. Hi, Miss Feliberti. How are you? I'm doing good, ma'am.
En camino, siempre su sitio va fiel. Cuando la locomotora va caminando en el riel, todos los garroteros y correos también llevan en riesgo su vida dentro de la rueda del tren. Yo soy Nerea, llego a mi Juan, él es mi vida, yo soy su querer. Cuando me dicen que ya se fue el tren, adiós mi Nerea, ya sea tu Juan. Sí, porque me ven polainas, piensan que soy militar. Yo soy puro garrotero del ferrocarril central. Traigo mi par de pistolas con su parqueo y cabal. Una es para mi querida y otra es para mi rival. Yo soy guerrera, tengo a mi Juan. Él es mi vida, yo soy su querer. Cuando me dicen que ya se me fue, adiós mi querer, ya será tu Juan.
Well, when you turn them on again, let me know so I can come and take a look.
Well, they were here from midnight last night, you know.
They come out with a grid.
Testing out. They were testing.
Screen, flag, they measure the light at all the intervals.
There was like 150 something.
I think we're gonna stop it.
I think this was like
It's the uniform.
Quedó mi ranchito triste y abandonada ya mi
move the head a little bit, I guess.
Are we done with it?